Don't just talk about athletes. Live like one. Hey, do this block work, do this road work. No excuses. The question for today, what I'm asking myself doing this workout is Errol Spence dedicated to his craft? You know, I watched some videos with Terrence Bud Crawford's trainer, Bomac. Bomac was saying how, you know, he don't believe that Errol Spence is dedicated to his craft, which will lead to his downfall and defeat. I'm contemplating that thought, and when I get done with my run, I'm gonna let you know what I think on that. So let's hit this block, let's finish out this workout, and let's make it on home. Salute. So, salute. There it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep it 1,000. Hold up. Coronavirus is out here on the streets. Sometimes you gotta be defensive. Sometimes you gotta be offensive. And you know what I'm saying? You gotta be out on the streets too. Putting in that road work and boosting up your immune system. So I'm just wrapping up my block. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I do a little bit of light shadow boxing just to slow down the pace of my heart rate. And I'll come right back to you what I was thinking about Errol Spence, whether or not he's 100% dedicated to his craft. So, my answer to is Errol Spence 100% dedicated to his craft. Right now, I'm gonna have to say that the answer is yes and no. And that's if I look at it completely. 100%. I feel like what Bo Mack was trying to say, and I don't know if he was trying to be disrespectful or overcritical or over analytical, or whether or not he just felt like he was keeping it 1,000. And especially if he's looking at Terrence Bud Crawford as the pinnacle, or as the comparison of being 100% dedicated to your craft. You know, at first Bo Mack was calling Errol Spence, you know, a drunk N-I-G-G-A, ain't S-H-I-T. And I can't remember now if that was pre or post accident. But either way it goes, I feel like Errol Spence is young and he's super dedicated to his craft. But just like anybody else, we all have room to grow and improve ourselves. I feel like he's, you know, just an athlete, and he's extremely talented, and he was able to be like 95% dedicated to his craft, and, you know, 5 to 10% dedicated to a persona of, you know, hanging out and partying. And not to say that he's conflicted with a issue or an addiction to alcohol, but I do feel like, you know, in his leisure time, he might like to have a casual drink. And I can't judge anybody on what they do, what kind of vices that they have, but just speaking factually, being an athlete, a professional athlete, and you talking about being 100% dedicated to your craft, then I really don't feel like there's room to play around in a lifestyle that's alternative, or especially that's one that's directly in contrast. Like, to me, it'd be different. Like, say 100% you dedicated to boxing, but your vice, if you're not boxing, you have another part of your life dedicated to something else, but it's still healthy, like another sport like basketball, football, track. Then that takes away from boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's still athletic, it's still positive, but it might just dull some of your senses in the ring if a part of your mind is dedicated to another sport. And that's positive. So anything that's negative that your mind might be dedicated to, like, when I get done with this fight, I can't wait to go to the club and party. You know what I'm saying? Whether you drink or not. You know what I'm saying? But if your mind is post-fight, when I get done, how am I going to celebrate, where I'm going to be at, and how I'm going to look, what kind of necklace I'm going to have on, who's going to be my entourage. If your mind might be split on something like that, that might take away your focus from your craft. And it might sound minuscule, but when I look at Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, and you talking about two of the absolute best, if they both come into the center of that square circle, I feel like both of them have to be 100% dedicated to that one goal. I mean, you literally would have to eat, sleep, drink, and defecate that fight. You can't have any room in your mind. You would have to be 100% clear. You couldn't have no other thoughts in your mind that takes away from everything that you need to execute in that particular fight. And I feel like if Errol Spence allows himself to be sidetracked by any other thoughts or any other criterias or any other goals in his life, then he might come up short in that fight with Terrence Bud Crawford. And that's all I'm saying as far as being 100% dedicated to his craft. And in that fight in particular, he does not have room for error. And even if he did have room for error, I wouldn't risk it, because that would be the fight of your life. And I feel like Terrence Bud Crawford, being a little older and having a longer career, I feel like he's walking in that wisdom right now, to where he knows he doesn't have time to let pass him by, which might make him a little bit more dedicated to his craft, being that, you know, he's on his way out. And that might be another reason why he doesn't want to put any more wear or tear on his body, fighting the hardest competition besides Errol Spence when you speak of the Shawn Porters and the Carol Brooks. But that's another topic for another video. It's Nocturnal Thoughts, man. Everybody be cool, be easy, and you know, just take it day by day. Pray, meditate, focus, exercise, eat healthy, stay hydrated, keep your immune system up, and you know what I'm saying, stay solid. 100. Peace. I'm out.